Hello students, the topic for today is psychology and its introduction. I'm going to start with the definition of psychology. It's very simple and easy one but very important. So psychology is the study of behavior with its application to real life problems. Now two concepts are embedded in this study of behavior and its application. I'm going to start with the first part of the definition, that is study of behavior. So before we understand what is behavior, we need to understand stimulus response theory. Okay, here is an example, very popular one. When you touch the hot pan, what do? We immediately pull our hand back. So what is the stimulus? Stimulus is hot pan. So the definition of stimulus becomes an object or an event that impinges an organism to react. It's called stimulus. Stimulus is hot pan because it forces you to react in a particular manner. And what is the response? Pulling your hand back. So the definition of response becomes an activity, muscular or glandular, which impinges on organism to behave in a particular manner, but in response to the situation. It has to be in response to a particular situation. That is called the definition of response. Other examples can be taken like shiny object, blinking of eye. Shiny object can be your stimulus and blinking of eye is response. So this is what we mean by stimulus and response. Stimulus is an object or an event that impinges an organism to react is stimulus, and an activity that is so aroused with response to the stimulus, with response to the situation, is called a response. So from this stimulus response, we come to the definition of behavior. Behavior is learned responses from external stimuli. What we have learned from that stimulus response association, that is called behavior. Behavior manifests itself as a result of stimulus response associations. Behavior manifests itself as a result of the interplay between stimulus and response. This is what we mean by behavior. Learned responses from external stimuli. In other words, the total response of a person to the situations of life is called behavior. It includes all forms of processes, your adjustments, your experiences, everything that you go throughout your life. This is called behavior in terms of psychology. Now, next concept is why of behavior. In addition to this study of behavior, psychology also studies why of behavior. Why and how a person behaves or reacts in a particular manner. What leads to his behavior unique? Here comes the role of social norms, core faith, your attitude, your traits, the role of genetics. All these factors produce different kind of behavior in people. Now, the next part is application to real life problems. The next part of our definition is real life problems, application to real life problems. So psychology is not limited to theory. Psychology has its applied value. For example, when we are not well, when we are physically not well, what do? We go to a doctor. He prescribes us the required medicine. He examines us. And then after taking that medicine, we feel well. On the other side, when we are not psychologically well, when we are in a state of misfortune, when we are in a state of stress, we are not able to take decisions appropriately. We are not able to handle ourselves. So what do we need? We need help. So psychologist's role comes here. We need to take the help of a psychologist. He gives his expertise, his support, and thus can generate positive change in ourselves. So there is no shame to go to a psychologist. There is no shame at all. We have to go. We have to take his help and thus we can become psychologically healthy. So this is the complete definition, appropriate definition of psychology. Psychology is a study of behavior. We have learned what is study of behavior. Behavior is learned responses from external stimuli, from stimulus response associations. The total response of a person to the situations of life is called behavior. And why of behavior is also important for study behavior. Why we behave in a particular manner? Because of the different factors like norms, the core belief, the role of genetics, the role of society, culture, etc. And what we have learned, the application to real life problems. Psychology has its applied value. Psychology helps us to change ourselves, to handle ourselves better. That's all. Thank you.